E3 may be cancelled this year for some tweets from 2013 that didn't age well and also a minor global catastrophe, but that didn't stop PlayStation from announcing new things for us to be excited about in these trying times. Hey kids, you want new consoles even though it feels like these ones just barely came out? Too soon my chronically depressed took us, it's time for more hardware that's going to cost half my monthly salary to buy just so it can sit on my shelf all day and only be used to put on Netflix in the background at night while I sleep because the noise and a little bit of light is more comfortable. Vertical game is on point. Now you have a taco to insert in your fridge. It's like a Jenga game of instantly dated design philosophies. White technology ages like milk. Where will I place such enigmatic totems of contemporary consumerist failings? Oh, thank God you can put it on its side. Look, here's one with no disc hole. It's like a chastity belt of consoles, and I hope this idea dies immediately because digital media doesn't belong to you and can be taken away or shut down forever at a moment's notice. But my copy of Spider-Man on PS1 still works fine after 20 years. Speaking of Spider-Man and being asleep, Spider-Man 2 is not here yet, so take this instead. The new generation of Dead Uncle Simulator is here, now with dead cop dads who are named... What? Wait, what? How have I never noticed this before? A lot of footage to unpack here of really high-fidelity cutscenes that will assuredly look sharper and more cinematic than actual gameplay, as well as clips of stuff that looks like gameplay but is actually also cinematic footage that will cause everyone to argue and get mad in 6 months, because it won't look exactly the same. Oh, and look, oh, there's puddles, oh my god, you better hope those make it in the game. But that's okay, because given their track record, Insomniac's footage for this showcase here will be close enough that I won't be dissatisfied. I know how video games work, man, I get it. I'm not mad, I love you. Can I have an Easter egg in the sequel? I promise I'll be really good. I stopped fighting with my brother, Papa. So while other people are a bit upset that this isn't the proper numbered sequel to Disney's, Sony's, Marvel's, Garth Marenghi's Spider-Man, I think a side series slash spin-off makes a lot of sense considering the time frame. It's only been 2 years since PlayStation Man 4 came out, and I'd be worried if the full sequel was really done that quickly. I felt like it was too early to announce a whole new game, and typically the development cycle for something like that is at least 4 years. Making games is a long and tedious process where you have to watch lots of lively gore footage compilations to make your Mortal Kombat guts realistic enough. A lot of folks speculated that Miles would be like a second player co-op partner for the sequel, but it appears that Insomniac went the route of keeping... Oh god, no. I imagine it'll have a series of bosses based on Miles' own rogues gallery of villains, like Uncle Prowler Deadpool Mask. Bombshells? Even though those were Ultimate Peter's villains first. Cartel Scorpion? Lady Electro? Regent, kind of. Himself from the other universe? I like this costume a lot. I'm surprised they didn't Insomniacify it a little bit more with an advanced design, but it's kind of hard to reimagine this costume because it's so simple and straightforward. They did a good job of giving it texture and detail that makes it look like more than just a bodysuit from the waist down. I feel like the Miles Morales costume could have a really bad case of Ben Reilly with no hoodie syndrome, where he looks like a naked body-painted guy instead of someone wearing a costume. See Superman Without Trunks for further examples of why this is an issue. Character design, kids! You gotta break up the colors and add some seams or it looks fucking weird. I think it's a no-brainer that the Spider-Verse costume, some super basic comic version, possibly with a cel-shaded filter, maybe that new design with the blockier shapes, and perhaps a few original designs will all make it into the game. The unlockable costumes were such a huge element in the last one that it would be a huge disappointment to take that out. I'll understand if my pal Yuri won't be a huge element in this game since we're trying to give Miles his own room to exist, and that's cool by me. What a tagline! Come on, someone has to have watched at least one of my videos. I'm not gonna take credit, but I will say that I was one of the people that got the conversation rolling. You gotta give me that. This game could go one of two ways. Either it's a Lost Legacy sort of deal where it's a spin-off game with a few of the side characters highlighted, and it'll work mostly off reused animations and assets to tell a fun little, emphasis on little, side story. As for the other direction, my friend Dane said something that stuck with me on the day of the announcement. Some games are like a salad. A salad isn't really a full meal at most restaurants, but more of a promissory note that a full meal will soon arrive. You know, the kind of game where it's almost all reused assets and animations that were quickly cobbled together into a new story in under a year or two to tide you over while they work on the actual sequel because the developer is trying to make things work with new console technology and they haven't quite got it down yet. Just take this nice little salad while we finish the steak, sir. Please don't lose interest and leave our establishment and go to McDonald's. Games like Resident Evil 3 while waiting for Code Veronica to come out, or the divisive Arkham Origins placed between releases of the mainline Arkham games. A little Spider-Man Edge of Time while they take the time to work on a big open-world movie tie-in with new stuff built from the ground up. All salad games. A new term I'm proposing. And that's exactly what Resident Evil 3 Remake was. A low-effort, quick little salad with cut content from an already annoyingly short game full of breakneck pacing that makes it far less satisfying than the polished and well-crafted experience from Resident Evil 2 Remake. They were just getting us to keep quiet for a year while they worked on Resident Evil 4x2, now featuring zombie werewolves and vampires, which is a nice change of pace from zombies after the 2 more traditional games we just got. It's nice to get some variety in this series, and hopefully the emphasis will be more on individual enemy encounters than exclusively bosses like RE7, given that the Molded were so underwhelming of an imposing NPC force. I eagerly await to see if this means they've brought back the attaché case mechanics from RE4, because I think it's one of the best inventory mechanics in any survival horror video game, and I noticed it even has an in-game currency. Does that mean the beloved RE4 merchant will be making an appearance? I suspect the character shown here will serve the same role as Clancy in RE7, being more of a side character to experience the more dire events than Ethan Winters encounters. I appreciate the inclusion of Ethan Winters because he has more of an underpowered everyman vibe than most of the characters in this series have in a long time, given that all of them trained to become super-powered ninjas off-screen who can do wrestling moves on zombies and punch boulders. Look, they fixed Chris Redfield's face! Now he looks like himself again instead of this weird Project Awakening Viking-looking ass. All in all, I'm very excited for the bold new direction the series is taking with new horror elements from several sources of inspiration for each new installment. RE7 thrived on Evil Dead, Chainsaw Massacre, Saw, and The Hills Have Eyes sorts of aesthetics and scenarios, and RE8's more gothic horror influences are welcome change of paces at this point in the series. Good work, Capcom, I'm excited to see more, but please maybe add something to RE3 so it's not just the unloved middle child of the series. What was I talking about? I'm sorry, I just got distracted. Spider-Man's just so boring lately.